The Tinubu administration has withheld approximately 46.9 billion naira in local government allocations to Osun State for 4 months. Now, that's from March to June 2025. Now, this decision is tied to a dispute over the legitimate leadership of the state's local councils, with the federal government insisting on recognizing only certain politically aligned local government chairmen. Well, joining me to discuss this on the program this evening is the state's Honorable Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Mr. Kolapo Alimi. Thank you for your time. I also have Dr. Sam Amadi, is the director, the Abuja School of Social and Political Thought. Both men joined virtually. Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let me start the conversation with you, Honorable Commissioner. That's Mr. Alimi. Can you please confirm the local government allocation to your state? What we understand is that it's been withheld for about 4 months to a tune of about 46.9 billion naira. Is this true?
Yes, thank you, my brother. It is true. And it is quite unfortunate that from February this year, the local government allocation to states has not been released to the states. And that was despite the fact that 3 factors have been made. The legal debacle in relation to it has been cleared. There is a subsisting judgment delivered on June 13 by the Court of Appeal, which affirmed that the election conducted on 22nd February this year by this government to the State Independent Electoral Commission is sacrosanct and should be respected. Despite that fact, to answer your question straightforward, the local government allocation to the states is still being held.
Okay.
We can only continue to appeal to the federal government to see reason to obey the rule of law and to release this allocation. Let me quickly state further that for the purpose of our viewers at home, when we are talking of local government autonomy, the local government autonomy is not a tool for punishment. It's to enhance good governance at the local government. The local autonomy does not envisage a situation whereby allocation will not be released to the state. And for the purpose of our viewers once more, and when you are talking of local government allocation, what does it connote? There are statutory payments from the local government allocations. First and foremost, all the primary school teachers, starting from the junior school to the junior school teachers and the primary school teachers, they are supposed to be paid from the local government allocation. All the local government staffs working the local government, they are supposed to be paid from the local government allocations. All retirees that are retired from the local government, they are supposed to be paid from the local government allocations. All primary school teachers retired in the states, they are supposed to be paid from the local government allocations. All our traditional rulers, their allowance, they are supposed to be paid from the local government allocations. And the contributory pensioners, their bond, they are supposed to be remitted from the local government allocation. It's not peculiar to Osun State. That is how it is structured all over this federation. So if anybody have now gone ahead to, due to one reason or the other, directly or indirectly, pay to release the allocation due to the people of Osun State, for us, what does that connote?
All right.
That means the categories of people that ordinarily are supposed to get their salary through the local government allocation will not be able to do so. However, we have to give kudos to our governor, His Excellency Senator Ademola Jackson Rudin Adeleke. He has been trying his efforts, all efforts within his city, to ensure that all these categories of people are not suffer, at the detriment of other things. to ensure that they are being paid. And so our allocation from February, local allocation, is still with the federal government, and we can only continue to plead and plead because a judgment, a landmark judgment, has been delivered.
Okay.
On January 13th this year.
Honorable Commissioner.
That has settled all legal debate.
Honorable Commissioner, you said quite a number of things, but one thing you said that seems to have stood out. You said the allocation has been held from February as against March. That seems to be what is, in the open. From February. So you listed quite a number of individuals that have been affected, from healthcare workers to teachers to even pensioners at the local level. How is the state, how are they coping? What has the state been able to do to manage the situation since February?
Yeah, as I've stated earlier, and I told you, our government is humane. We know that some people, they might not care playing politics with the life of the citizen of Osun, but our governor will not allow that to happen. What the governor is doing now is that, at detriment of the project and some other things, we have to pay the categories of all the workers, and we have not defaulted, except for this month, July, which salary will enter any moment from now. So that means instead of the project to be moving as it's supposed to be, we are making sure that all the categories of workers that are stated and have earlier stated, they are being paid. And despite that fact, despite not releasing of allocation, we are still not borrowing. So our governor is trying all his effort to manage, to ensure and manage the little resources of the state to make sure that it goes round.
Okay.
And to ensure that these people, some of them will have to use some of these resources, salaries, to buy drugs, for medical, to pay the school fees of their children, so on and so forth.
All right, Honorable Alimi.
For 5-6 months, how do you expect them to survive?
Honorable Alimi, thank you so much for your time. Let me leave you for a moment and bring in Dr. Sam Amadi. He's the director for the Abuja School of Social and Political Thought. Thank you for joining, Dr. Amadi. Now, I would like to, approach this from the angle of the recent Court of Appeal judgment, which, of course, has been cited even by the Honorable Commissioner, that potentially removing the legal basis for withholding this allocation. But yet, we still see the federal government, according to the Commissioner, still hold on to this allocation. Can you, for what is going on here from your own analysis?
Well, thank you for having me. I guess two things here quickly. Well, the nature of the Court of Appeal decision it should be made clear. I'm not too sure what it decided, but the key point here is if the Court of Appeal decides something, if the central bank withholds this allocation, by the way, allocations to either state or local government is not a discretionary grant. Discretionary grants could be withheld. You see in the US politics, maybe if a federal grant to match up with some program and the president says, you remove DI, if you fail, the federal government can cut back their grant because that's discretionary grant and they're within the legal authority of federal government. Sometimes the federal government manages the federation affair as if it's a federal affair. That's key point. So they don't make the distinction between federation and federal. And that's why people have also argued, I think somebody said some of these agencies, those that are for federal should be federal. Those are federation, like FIRS and so on and so forth, that's trying to make them carry a federation kind of nomenclature. So back to the local government transfers. They are not discretionary. They should go to the local governments. The Supreme Court give a caveat which with regards to democratically elected and so on and so forth. But there is a question, what is properly elected? And that's where the political publicity comes in. And Tinubu, who is the president of who is the head of the federal government, was at the receiving end at some point when he, on his own, created development centers and the federal government under PDP withheld allocations. The window court, the Supreme Court said, no, you can't do that. But at the same time, you can't create local government special caution until they say that. So it's now ironic, and everything in this government is ironic. The same Tinubu whose government who fought against federalizing too much federal encroachment also nullified democracy in Rivers State and imposed a sort of administration. So the irony continues that Osun State LG funds are being withheld by the federal government, obviously under the authorization of the president, and therefore repeating even a more dramatic and much more condemnable manner what happened in Lagos. Now, back to the point. If elections have been held, and look, the State Electoral Commission is the one authorized to declare winners, just like INEC is authorized to declare winners in federal election. Many people could argue, and with some plausible arguments and evidence, that President Tinubu didn't quite win the election. I mean, some people made that point, but INEC said he won, and of course he won. So if, in spite of all that, the president is exercising full authority as a federal, as a president, and make allocations and decisions unheeded, then if the state has conducted election according to its laws and its State Electoral Commission says so, my position is that the authority to declare elections valid is the State Electoral Commission, and even brought it to court, and the court validate them, then that's done and dusted. So you ought to, for no reason, withhold those funds. And again, the central bank, as a trustee, the central bank does not create this money. The central bank does not own this fund. The central bank has no authority, no legal ownership. It's a trustee.
So basically, before we go on this break, Dr. Amadi, just to sum up your words, you are saying that this act by the federal government is purely illegal. Is that what you're saying?
They can't impound. Yes, they can't impound. They can only do so pursuant to an order. If allocations belong to the local government, it should be transferred. Except there's a clear constitutional infringement, and the Supreme Court says so, and the court should not say so. You see, under federalism, until we revise it, these funds are earned. That's why during the Rivers State, I said clearly, when they try to impound, I said you cannot impound constitutionally allocated earned funds that belong to states. That is an entitlement to local governments and states. And so you can't hold them back because you're a trustee. The CBN, your power is to exercise it in line with the Constitution. So my view is very simple. We may debate about whether elections are free and fair. And by the way, we are still debating whether the federal election that got the president in is free and fair.
All right, Dr. Amadi.
But once INEC says so, it's so.
Dr. Amadi, thank you so much. We'll go on a quick break. When we definitely return, we'll dwell more on this issue. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. It's still Politics HQ on News Central Television. And of course, at this point, we are discussing the withholding of the local government allocation for Osun State. I still have my guest with me. That's Honorable Kolapo Alimi, is the Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Osun State. I also have Dr. Sam Amadi, is the Director of the Abuja School of Social and Political Thought. Those men are joining me virtually. Gentlemen, thank you for staying with me. Now, let me come back to you, Honorable Commissioner. Honorable Commissioner, let's move away just slightly from the local government, funds issue, which of course you have clarified that it's still being held by the federal government, and talk about some of the politics that we are seeing within the state, some developing issues, just for clarity's sake. We are made to understand, it's pretty much rumor, but I believe you put the record straight now, that there are attempts by the governor to defect to the APC, and that even the APC in the state doesn't want him. Can you put some clarity to this? Does Governor Adeleke, is he looking to defect from the PDP to the APC?
Well, thank you for this question and the opportunity to make this clarification. Let me state it abundantly clear that our governor, His Excellency Senator Ademola Jackson Adeleke, is in the PDP. We remain in PDP, and we are not defecting to any political party. If you could recollect that our president is a Yoruba by tribe. And because of that one, there are overtures from the people in the presidency, some traditional rulers, that as a Yoruba man, he needs to be supported for the second term. And so there's nothing wrong in that one. However, the overture got to a level that some people were thinking that it would be better for the governor to move to APC so as to make things easier for Mr. President. But, you know, the performance of the APC in this state, and most especially the last administration under Alhaji Boyega was so woeful that the people were resenting this move. Please don't move. They were asking the governor not to move. And after a lot of consultation, the governor decided to stick with the people. And so he is remaining in PDP. And I can authoritatively inform you today, as I'm talking today, and for the whole country to understand and to know it, that Governor Ademola Adeleke remains in PDP, is not defecting to APC or to any other political party. But by the grace of God, is going to contest under the banner of PDP and win the second term on the landslide victory.
But he did endorse Mr. President for 2027. That's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is a member of the APC.
I told you that you know, all politics are local. We have our people here. We have the traditional rulers. We have some notable opinion leaders who love Governor Ademola Adeleke. At the same time, believe that the president, be a Yoruba man, needs to be supported. And so the governor, as a man of the people, will have to yield to whatever the people want. And so he's saying, okay, if that is what the people want, the people say, Adeleke, we want you. We equally want you to support President Tinubu as a Yoruba man. And that was the reason why the endorsement. So the whole stakeholders in the state say we endorse Adeleke for second term. At the same time, we'll be supporting President Tinubu. I don't see anything wrong in that.
All right, let me leave you for a moment, Honorable Commissioner. Let me come to you, Dr. Amadi. Dr. Amadi, just quickly, let's talk about the dynamism, you know, within the political landscape that we are seeing, where it appears like party lines are getting pretty much blurry. What do you suggest or think? Do you think this at all would have any impact, you know, in Nigeria's political landscape, particularly its democracy? Dr. Amadi, you seem to be muted, sir.
I said, yeah, okay. You mean the effect of the camp? Or the,
yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, first, let's even start with the governor, you know, the campaign and promising. I mean, it's one of those tragedies and developments now that principal officers of political parties would cavalierly, you know, carelessly say they are endorsing Tinubu or opponents of their party. And the commissioner tries to explain it and say, okay, it's because of output is local ethnicity. I mean, that's really terrible. And the governor is a leading member of the PDP. And of course, they don't have a candidate now. He shouldn't be in any hurry to endorse Tinubu because he's a kinsman. That's really penalizes democracy. And this is where we've gotten into since 2023, where too much ethnicity, and not just in the Southwest, of course, South, you see everybody. What is clear is that these governors are suffering under certain mindsets. One is that this is going to be a brutal and brutish government. So we're not ready to expose ourselves. This is the tacit point here is we are choking. They are going to strangle us. Now look at the Osun State. Keeping 46 billion. Do you need anybody to tell you that the governor will keep his mouth shut and not speak against Tinubu? The governor has to be compliant because everybody is forced to be compliant. And this is tragic. Tinubu went to court, challenge, and that's why I give kudos to Tinubu. Maybe he's the only person who understands how to fight. Maybe he's the only person who is really, understands democracy as contestation. These guys who are governors, can't even fight. Nobody has filed any suit against this government. 46 billion Trump. Tinubu didn't go and beg. Tinubu went to court. up to Supreme Court. And we know that the courts have become almost like bastardized or like dead, but still, there's still an aperture for justice. So what we are seeing, my brother, is a tendency that speaks to certain moral inebriation. These leaders are becoming totally immoral. They are becoming incoherent. They don't even apply logic, simple logic. I mean, somebody will be a leading member of a political party and will say, we cannot win. Even if you cannot win, and the president doesn't have any gross with his own presidential candidate, he simply says, well. And this is not only about delegate, it goes across. So I don't know what pestilence, what virus has eaten into the moral fabric of politics in Nigeria, that leaders everywhere are just like they have been inoculated, as if some kind of virus ate them up, and they can't even look. I was just imagine if I'm a governor, why can't you stand? You're a governor, stand on your own. So this decamping, yes, is reshaping the policy, but again, it's now, or endorsement, is now laughable, farcical. People don't even regard these endorsements, because if these endorsements were working or work, the parties will not be desperate. The people now know, and Tinubu knows, and his minders know, that these governors do not really compel voters. And that can be explained by 23 elections. Many governors, former governors, or serving governors lost their constituencies to parties outside their party. So yes, we want to see this drama going on, but essentially it shows that our democracy, we have former democracy or hollow democracy, but we don't have real Democrats who will say, look, I like the president or he's from my village, but I'm a leader of a party, and my party's job is to contest election, and I will support my party. I'm yet to see a governor who will boldly say that.
All right, Dr. Amadi, thank you so much. Before I let you go, Honorable Commissioner, just for to put the records still straight, there are some political observers who feel that the recent moves by the governor appears to be desperate, trying to look for maybe curry favors or look for strong alliance ahead of the elections in the state. So I'm going to ask you a question. Given what we have seen recently in Osun State, is Governor Adeleke under intense or immense pressure, either from the opposition or from some stakeholders, to make some decisions maybe against the party or some policies just to curry the favors of some higher powers? Is Governor Adeleke under pressure?
No, let me state one thing, that the government is not under any pressure. And then I appreciate my colleague on the program, Dr. Amadi. I appreciate you for your thought, fantastic thought, your position on the issue of allocation, instead of allocation to Osun State, local allocation. You are on point, sir, and I align myself with your position. But on the issue whether there is anybody challenging the case in court or not, there is a system judgment.
We seem to have lost our connection with the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment of Osun State. Okay, I understand that
Hello?
Okay, we have him back. We can hear you now, sir. Please go ahead.
Yes. Yes, I say I can only use this opportunity to appeal to our Honorable Attorney General for the Federation, Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, respect the rule of law and obey the judgment. As I've stated earlier, the government is not under any pressure. However, as I've told you, that all politics are local. We have our stakeholders here, and some of them believe that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, being a Yoruba man, is to be protected. And our governor too, being a Yoruba man, will not deliberately obey those people and say yes to hell with them, and that the president being a Yoruba man should not be supported. That is why you have the resolution. It's not really the fact that the governor is doing any antipathy. What we are saying, in essence, is that we are, as much as possible, we are today, and I can say that we are in PDP, and we remain in PDP, our contest in PDP, and our people, with the support of our people, they are probably to support us, traditional rulers, the civil servant, the public servant, the pensioners, and all the students, and the artisans, They have promised they will support us. They have been supporting us, and we are very sure that at the end of the day, our second-term election will be won with a landslide.
All right, thank you so much for your time on the show. We deeply appreciate, and of course, interestingly, I'm also from Osun State. Ayedade local government, but going to be precise. It's a passionate appeal that this funds to the local government.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Be paid